Hi everyone. So today we're going to be um, talking about some things that you may or may not know about me. I've had a lot of people ask me these questions before in the past, like, "Oh, how did you get into liking horses?" and so on. Because my memory is crap right now, I decided to just write out everything. So if you hear paper fluttering, that's why. Um, Number one, I've actually been horseback riding since I was one. My first riding experience was on a Shetland pony. My grandma was standing next to it just to make sure I didn't fall and, kill myself. But I've been basically riding on and off ever since that day. Even now that I live in an apartment, I still find time and means and ways of going horseback riding. I find it to be very therapeutic, and it's such a stress reliever for me that the best way to sum my love up would be the day I die is the day that chances are I'm going to die on the back of a horse. So, um, number two, I'm actually a part of the hashtag Me Too. I was 13 when it happened, and only my grandmother believed me. We went through the routes, needed to discover what had happened, found out that it had. So basically, my childhood for me ended when I was 13. To this day, the person who is responsible is still not behind bars, and unfortunately is um, allowed to be around young kids when, in my opinion, he shouldn't. Number three, I love big cats and I love wolves. A lot of people might be a bit surprised when they hear that. But I've actually been able to hold a wolf pup, and I've actually held a lion cub at one point. So I do love bigger animals. Aside from horses, I do love my feral animals such as, big cats, wolves, polar bears, and so forth. But big cats and wolves are the biggest love for me. Number four, I also love emperor scorpions. Surprise, surprise. I do suffer from arachnophobia, so for me to love um, scorpions is a bit of a big leap out there. So, but emperor scorpions do get quite big. I've had one before. He was very docile, and the only time he ever stung me was because I startled him while he was feeding, and it was just pure reflex on his behalf. It wasn't malicious or anything. Um, Number five, I've owned animals basically all my life. I've grown up around animals. I was 4 when we had, I think it was a 100-gallon fish tank. Um, it was a very big, big fish tank though. So I'm assuming it could have been a 30-gallon. It could have been 100 gallons. I'm not sure. We had everything in that fish tank. We had angelfish. We had tetras. We had sharks, you name it, we had it. Um, I've always had cats and I've always had dogs. It's only been recent, I would say as recent as before 2008, that I had a rat. He ended up passing away, but I did eventually get another one. She has also since passed away. So having a variety of animals in my life isn't anything new. So it's no surprise there. Number 6, I do have a daughter. She's 9 years old. She will be 10 next year on February 6th. I feel old, but very proud of her. She's quite accomplished despite her years. She's very knowledgeable, again, despite her age. So she's just a mini me that, a lot of people were probably worried about. Number 7, I have been working on my Sea Trainer's license. This is a license which enables me to train people and their horses both in Canada and the United States. But I've had to put it on hold simply because money is a very big issue for me. It's very expensive simply because you have to find a stable willing to take you on, willing to apprentice you, and so forth. So it's been put on hold for the time being. Number 8 on my fave all-time horse breeds are the Arabian. I do love the fire that they bring to a bond. This comes in with the quarter horses, that they can also have quite a fiery temper. And the Frisians are next. So it might come as a surprise because I go from hot-blooded, semi-hot-blooded to, ice cold. But Frisians have been known to be quite the Spitfires. So it's not that big of a surprise for me to love these guys. Number 9, my home stable on Star Stable is now in Mistfall. This is because my husband is part Norse. He's actually part Norwegian. So the Nordic theme that they have going on in Mistfall is just right up my alley. It helps me represent my relationship because he's not able to get onto Star Stable and actively participate and be a part of it. So it's quite it's actually a lot more fun to be able to represent him and our relationship in this way. And also, I feel that Mistfall has a lot of Gaelic and Celtic and Scottish. You can see it in the designs, hints to it, so it helps represent me as well because I'm part Irish and Scottish. So it just helps me blend the best of all worlds. Number 10, my Connemara, is actually named after a very famous Canadian thoroughbred. His name was Northern Dancer. My Connemara's name is North Star. So it's just, we couldn't get Northern Dancer in there because obviously they don't have quote unquote Northern as a part of that. So I had to settle with North Star because North Dancer just didn't sound right. And so North Star just sounded a little more prettier, if you will, and more noble and so forth. So I did have some questions that were aimed at me, and I'm going to answer at least one of them right now. Let me just see if I could find it. Can I join your guild? Yes, you can. You're more than welcome to join my guild. My guild is called Dragon Wolves Guild. It is open to every level, but I would prefer to keep it to where everybody can get into every location on Star Stable. But we don't have, you need to have this horse in order to join, or you need to have this club gear in order to join. No, we don't do any of that. It's just me right now, so it's quiet and content. The only rule I do have is just please don't do club hopping. It's so annoying. Anyways, that's wrapping up this video. As you can see, I came up to one of the Nordic lodges. This is basically what my dream house will also eventually look like once my husband and I get the money saved up and we are able to get it built. In this Nordic lodge house is actually 2 levels, so that's basically what ours would look like. So anyways, I will see you guys in the next video. Episode 2 for the Legend of Dundull is coming out eventually. I just got to get everything written and edited and so forth. Anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Bye!